Now, gear yourselves up for the comical story of Frampton Nuttall and an amusing girl, Vera.
Frampton, Nuttall and Vera?
Yes, that's right. Frampton Nuttall, a man suffering from nerve disease, is amused by a mischievous girl, Vera, when he visits her aunt's house.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. So now I would like to bring the students of Mugilan Shiva, Ishwar Rajan, Divakar, Akash, Trisha and Darshini to perform the act for us.
Open Window written by Saki. The story follows the life of Frampton Nuttall, who moves into a new town. He wishes to cure his nerves and his sister helps him as she lives there. She arranges a meeting with one of her acquaintances, Mrs. Sableton. On reaching her house, he encounters her niece Veera. She points to an open window and tells him about the reason behind it. She tells Frampton that her aunt's husband and his two brothers got killed in a tragic hunting accident. Moreover, she warns him that Mrs. Sableton anticipates their return, so she keeps the window open. Finally, Mrs. Sableton comes to meet him and tells him that she is waiting for her husband. This disturbs Frampton and he gets horrified when he sees three males approaching him in a hunting gear. Thus, he flees the house.
My aunt will be down presently, Mr. Nuttall. In the meantime, you must try and put up with me.
Yes, sure, Veera.
Do you know many of the people round her?
Hardly a soul.
Then you know practically nothing about my aunt. Her great tragedy happened just 3 years ago.
Her tragedy?
You may wonder why we keep our window wide open on an October afternoon.
It's quite warm for the time of the year, but the window has anything to do with the tragedy.
Out through that window 3 years ago to a day, her husband and her two young brothers went off their day shooting. They never come back. In crossing the moon to their favorite shooting ground, they were all three engulfed in a treacherous piece of bark. It has been the dreadful wet summer, you know, and places that were safe in other years gave away suddenly without warning. Their bodies were never recovered. It was the dreadful parted. My poor aunt always thinks that they will come back someday. They and the little spaniel that was lost with them, and walk in that window just as they used to do. That is why the window kept open every evening till it is quite dusk.
I hope Veera has been amusing you.
She has been very interesting.
I hope you don't mind the window. My husband and brother will be home directly from the shooting and they will always come in this way. They have been out for snipe in the marches today. So they will make a fine over mess with my poor carpet. So like you menfolk, isn't it?
The doctor agreed and ordered me a complete rest and absence from mental excitement.
Here they are at last, just in time for tea and don't. They look as if they were muddy up to the eyes. See, they came through the open window.
They came. Oh, ghost! Oh, ghost!
Hi dear, who was there? Who brought it out? And come is up.
A most extraordinary man, Mr. Nuttall. He could only think about his illness and dashed out a word of goodbye and apology when you arrived. One would think that he had seen a ghost.
I expert, it was the spaniel. He told me he had a horror of dogs. Once he was hunted into a cemetery somewhere on the gangs of a banks by a pack of dogs, had to spend the night in a dark gravely. Creatures snarling and grinning and foaming just above him, enough to make anyone lose their nerve.
Thank you.
Finally, we see Veera has a story for this as well. Frampton's reaction confuses Mrs. Sableton, but she assures that Frampton got scared of the hunting dog because of the phobia of dogs. Thus, we look at how Veera is good at spinning tales. She utilizes the situation at hand and is quick to whip tales back to back without any hesitation. Thank you.
That was quite a lovely performance. Thank you, students, for entertaining us. It's wonderful seeing so many plays, all thanks to the English language. We're now moving on to poems instead.
Yes, you're right. One such poem is that of I Pick My Pencil, which talks about the writing by Asha Christensen, will be reenacted by Shiva Shankari of grade 8.
I pick up the pencil, but I ask myself why. I have no story to tell, no pain, no reason to write. Staring at the blank page, a thought wanders before me. I see a spark, reaching out to grab it. My hands stretch as far as I can and nothing. It's all lost, all thought, all purpose. As I look up at the clock shining 1 p.m., I was ready to take a break. Standing up, fist clenched, shoulders broadened. Until I have realized I have started at 12:59. And that hunched me back while releasing a sigh. So when you battle with the first blank page, those words you can't seem to find it. I am trapped. My feet glued to the floor, a clutch of insignificant thoughts, searching for the one to set me free, to fill up the emptiness of that blank page. Thank you.
Thank you, Shiva Shankari, for reenacting such an inspiring poem for us.
We've already gone through some of Shakespeare's work today with 7 Stages of Man, but we haven't gone through one of his most major work, Macbeth.
That's right. Does anyone know about Macbeth? Alright, now we'll be getting to know about Macbeth from Megha.
Well, Samaya, Macbeth is a story about a general of Scotland who murders many in hopes of becoming the next king. But the performance we'll be seeing tonight is that of Lady Macbeth's sleepwalking scene.
That's right. I'd like to invite Darshini, Shruti and Sashwata of grade 8 to perform the Macbeth sleepwalking scene.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth the paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed. At all this while in a most fast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep. Have you heard her say?
That which I'll not report after her.
You mean to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor to anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Look you, here she comes. This is her very goose, and upon my life fast asleep.
How came she by that light?
She has that light continually with her. 'Tis her command.
Look how she rubs her hand.
It is an accustomed action with her. She seems like washing her hands. I have seen her continuing this for quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks.
Out, ten spot! Out! I say, 1, 2. Then this time, do it. Hell is murky. A fay, my lord, a fay. A soldier. On a fee. What we need fear? Who knows it? When no one can call a power to account. Yet who thought the old man had so much blood in him? Then our 5 had a wife. Where is she now? What will this hands never been clean? No more that, my lord, no more. You made all with the starting. The smell of blood is still. The perfume of Arabia will not sweeten these little hands. Wash your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you again, Banky is buried. He cannot come off his grave. To bed, to bed. There is a knocking gay. Come, come, come. Give me your hand. What's done, it cannot be undone. To bed, to bed.
to bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was such a haunting and emotional scene. Thank you to the students of grade 8 for such a terrifying act. But I seem to wonder, do any of you get tired of being nagged by your mom?
Sometimes. So here's one such poem where a mother keeps nagging her daughter Amanda and never gets a response or opinion from her back, while Amanda wistfully thinks about being free.
So, let's welcome Bharati and Nandita of grade 8 as mother and daughter in a recreation of this poem by Robin Clean.
Don't bite your nails, Amanda. Don't hunch your shoulders, Amanda. Stop the slouching and sit up straight, Amanda.
There is a land world, an emerald sea, where the soul is inhabited in me, a mermaid drifting peacefully.
Did you finish your homework, Amanda? Did you tidy your room, Amanda? I thought I told you to clean your shoes, Amanda.
I am an orphan roaming the street. I pattern a soft dance with my hushed bare feet. The silence is golden, the freedom is sweet.
Don't eat chocolate, Amanda. Remember your acne, Amanda. Will you please look at me when I'm speaking to you, Amanda?
I am a Rapunzel. I have not care. Life in a tower is chance clean and rare. I would certainly never let down my bright hair for down anyone.
Stop sulking at once, Amanda. You are always so moody, Amanda. Anyone could think I nagged at you, Amanda. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bharati and Nandita, for performing an marvelous poem.
After seeing all the poems and plays of Shakespeare, here is one last play. I hope you all know about the strength of friendship. As they say, friendship is one mind in two bodies, by Mencius, a Chinese philosopher.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Here is a piece of play on the true friendship of Antonio and Bassanio, the court scene where Shylock has taken Antonio to court.
So, I would like to bring the stars of grade 8 and 9, Kritik, Prithvi, Adavan, Naren, Pragdishwaran, Tabresh, Nandana and Darshini, including their narrator Lakshita, to come up here and perform the court scene of Merchant of Venice for us.
The Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1. The trial scene of a Merchant of Venice is the most famous and powerful scene of the play in the whole English dramas. This is the scene where Shylock is to take for his forfeiture from Antonio. Antonio's friends and even the Duke beg him to have mercy. Shylock says he will not grant mercy for a simple reason that he hates Antonio. He says Christians do what they wish, they are slaves, because they have bought them. And so it is with Antonio. Bassanio offers to pay double the amount of the loan, that is 6,000 pounds in exchange of Antonio's life. But Shylock refuses, saying that even if he were offered 6 times the amount.
What? Is Antonio here?
Wait. Get it. The last one. Okay, va. See the audience. Huh? Okay, va. Rumba turn.
Ready.
Expression is needed. Okay, expression. In China, get ready. See the audience. Start now.
What? Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for you. You ought come to answer. And stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any drama of mercy.
My patience too is free, and armed to suffer with the quietness of spirit, the very tyranny and the rage of his.
Go on and call the Jew into the court.
He's at the door.
Gee.
What? Is Antonio here?
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for you. You ought come to answer. And stony adversary, an inhuman wretch, incapable of pity, void and empty from any drama of mercy.
My patience too is free, and armed to suffer with the quietness of spirit, the very tyranny and the rage of his.
Go on and call the Jew into the court.
He's at the door. He comes, my lord.
Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that yours but leaves the fashion of your life to the last hour of act. And then this thought, you shall not show your mercy and remorse. More strange, and your strange apparent cruently, where you now exact the penalty, which is the pound of poor merchant flesh. You will not lose only the poor future, but touched with gentlest human love. We all expect a gentle answer from you, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by holy Sabbath have I sworn to have the due and the forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You will ask me why I rather choose to have a weight of carrion flesh rather to receive 3,000 ducats. I will not answer. But says it's my humor, is it answered? What if my house was troubled with the rats? I be pleased to give 10,000 ducats. 10,000 tickets to a bandit. What? Are you answered yet? Some men, they are loud, not a gabbing pig. Some, they are mad, behold a cat. And others, the bagpipe sings, the nose cannot contain urine. For affection, mistress of passion sways into mood of what it likes or loathes. Now, for your answer, there is no firm reason to be rendered. Why? He cannot abide a gapping pig. Why? He is a harmless and necessary cat. Why? He is a wool and bagpipe but a force. This must yield such inevitable shame as to offend himself being offended. So I can give no reason, nor I will not, more than a large ticket and a certain loathing I bear and tan you. And I losing a suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer. You unfeeling man. You excuse the current of your cruelty.
I am not bound to please you with my answers.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Hates any man the thing you will not kill.
Every offense is not a hate at first.
What? Would you have a 7-string it twice?
I pray you, think. You question with the Jew. You may as well as go and stand upon the beach, bid the main flare, bear his usual height. You may as well as his question with the wolf. We had met the EU bleed for the lamb. Let me have the judgment and the Jew his will.
For you 3,000 ducats. Here is 6.
What judgment shall I read? Wherein the 6 parts and every part of a ducat, I would not draw them out. I would have my bond.
How shall you hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I read? Doing no wrong. A pound of flesh which I demand to him is dearly brought. It's mine. I would have it.
Upon my power, I may dismiss this court, unless Balario and learned doctor, who I have determined to this, come here today.
My lord, here stays without a messenger with a letter from Dr. Newcamp from Padua.
Bring us the letter, call the messenger.
Good cheer, Antonio. What man, courage yet. The Jews shall have my flesh, blood, bones and all. Here, you shall lose for me 1 drop of blood.
I'm a tainted with a flock, meat is for the death. The weakest kind of fruit drops earlier to the ground. And so, let me, you cannot be better empty Bassanio than to live and still write my epitaph.
Came you from Padua or from Balario?
From both, my lord. Balario greets your grace.
Why don't you make your knife so earnestly?
To cut the perpetuate that bankrupt there.
Not on your soul, but on your soul, harassed you. You make us the knife kin, but no matter can know, not the hangman knives. Bear half nearness of your sharpened we. Can no praise pierce thee?
No, none. Your horse will not enough to make.
Oh, be you damn it, inexcusable dog, and lifeless justice be accused. You are a bloody, wolfish, starved and ravenous.
What? Can't you rail the steel from away bone? Your thigh and lungs want to speak so loud. You need to repair your thigh with on your good youth. Otherwise, it will fall due to careless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Balario doth commended, a young and learned doctor to our court. Where is he?
He attend here hard by to know your answers. Whether you will admit him?
With all my heart, some 3 or 4 of you go give courtiers to conduct this place. Meantime, the court shall hear the Balario's letter. You all hear the Balario's letter? I take it. Is the doctor come?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with different question in the court?
I am informed thoroughly of the case. Which is the merchant here and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand on the fourth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
I am Antonio.
Of the stained nature is the suit you follow. Yet in such rule of Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Hey, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful?
And what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strain. It dropped as a gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. The blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throne monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above the sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. Consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer that teaches all to render the deeds of mercy. The strict court of Venice must needs give sentence gains the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head, I carve the law, the penalty, and the forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge his money?
Yes, here, I tender it for him in the court. Yeah, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I will bound to pay 10 times more.
It must not be. There is no power in Venice can alter a degree establish. 'Twill be recorded for the president, and many an error by the same example can rush into the state. It cannot be.
At Daniel come to judgment. Yeah, at Daniel, a wise young judge. How do I honor you?
I pray you, let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most renowned doctor. Here it is.
Shylock, there's thrice the money offered.
An oath, an oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I pay jury of my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why? This bond is forfeit, and lawfully by this a Jew may claim a pound of flesh to be cut off from the merchant's heart. Be merciful, take thrice the money.
When it is paid according to the channel, the oath appears, you are a worthy judge, and the act has been sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar, and proceed to for judgment. By my soul I swear. There is no power to tongue of any man to alter me. I stay here for my bond.
Most heartily, I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then thus it is? You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
A noble judge, O excellent young man.
For the intent and the purpose of the law, hath full relation to the penalty upon the bond.
As his breast, so says the bond, though it is not. Near his heart, those are very words.
A pound of that same merchant's flesh is yours. The courts awards it, and the law doth give it.
The most learned judge, a sentence. Come, prepare.
Tarry a little. There's something else. The bond doth give no jot of blood. Take your pound of flesh. But in cutting it, if you do shed a drop of Christian blood, they all lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate into the state of Venice.
Is that the law?
Therefore, be prepared to cut off the flesh, nor if you cut less or more, but just a pound of flesh. If you cut less or more than a pound of flesh, as it was light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple.
He would still want the pound of flesh. Shylock feels completely defeated and leaves the court. The trial scene ends. Thank you.
That was such a riveting scene. Thank you, students, for performing us such an act.